Okay, hello engineering students, Mr. Pike here with you. We wanted to start our first video on assembling the Selfie-Stick. So now that you have imported all of the individual part files or the Onshape drawings, depending on if you imported them from Project Leadway directly or if you used my open source Onshape link. What you have now is at the bottom we have all of our individual part files, and I'm actually in my assembly file here. We want to go ahead and start the assembly, but before we do that, we're going to go ahead and bring in our thumb screw now. So one of the requirements was to download and then insert or import this thumb screw in. If you haven't already done so, you're going to want to hit the plus symbol down at the bottom. You're going to want to import, and you all, when you download it, would have put it in your downloads, so you'll just click here and it'll bring it into your file. Once you have it in your workspace file, you will need to insert it. So now we have all of our parts across here, but I want to go ahead and insert, and it'll be the first one that comes out since it's the last one you imported. And you can see now once I select import, it's asking me where to drop it. So I'm just going to drop it anywhere in here that I find fit. And now it's there, and I can of course maneuver it anywhere I want. So with the Selfie-Stick, we're going to probably just start at the bottom is the best place to go. So all these parts are just an open space for us right now. Remember, we have three-dimensional space with 6 degrees of freedom. So I'm going to move my bottom part of my Selfie-Stick over, and I want this to kind of be my anchor. And in Onshape, what we're going to do is called fix it. So we're going to right-click on the bottom part. We'll look at our options here, and in the option menu I'm going to find fix, and I'm going to fix it in place. And what that does is it locks it, and you can see when I left click to try and move it, I get a no signal symbol, and I have my fix it symbol here. And if you look at the browser tree, you'll see right over here, here is my fixed symbol again. So now that just creates an anchor. And now the next thing would be to add this extension here that I'll put on my Selfie-Stick. So along my quick access toolbar, if you recall from the Pair Deck, we have our mating features, and for this one I actually want to use what's called a slider mate. So if you hover over them, you'll get to see the brief definition, and when you select slider mate, you're going to need a couple things here. The first thing is I'm going to go to the top and I'll get my X, Y, and Z axis. So I'm going to see this insert where I want to place it. I'll change my isometric view to the bottom of the Selfie-Stick here, the top half, and I'll left click, and now I can zoom out and I can see that that is now inserted on that axis in a slider fashion. So if it's in the wrong direction, you can flip your primary axis, but mine was actually in the right direction, which is good. We'll go over these rotations and solves later, but for now we're going to hit accept. And up here on the side, we have our line in, so I'm going to close that out. And now what I have is this is inserted, but you're going to notice that it just goes infinitely on that axis. It's inserted, I can't move it. I can only slide it, so translate it along that axis. And I want to go ahead and lock that in place. So if you recall, or if not, let's jump over here on the bottom. Let's go to the stick top. And we need to know what this length is so we can have a decent idea. So I'm going to select the measure option from the bottom right of the graphics window, and I'm just going to measure the distance from here to here just to pick that arbitrarily, and you're going to see that this is 12 inches. So now that I know its length, I can go back to the assembly, and down the browser tree under the mate feature I have my first assembly made here. So I'm going to right click to edit, and now I want to do what's called set limits. So let's activate the limits command, and along this Z axis I'm going to start, and I want it to start at 0. So that will be my initial starting point, and then my maximum, if you recall, the length of it was 12 inches. I don't want to go completely inside because then I will not be able to retract it and then pull it out again. So I'm just going to go with 11, you can do 11 and a half, whatever it may be. and accept that. And now when you grab your selfie stick, you'll see I can pull it down. That's the extent. It leaves a little bit at the top for me, and zoom out. When I go to pull it up, it'll stop where that connection was first mated. So that is my 0 point. And now I have my retractable selfie stick. Okay, look back for video 2 where we'll be going on to the next step in order to assemble our selfie stick.